Good morning. I need to come out to the garden this morning because I need to kind of get the area cleaned up. I have a camera crew coming next week, so I wanted to get out here, do a little bit of cleaning before that happened, and I thought I would go ahead and give you guys a little tour of my garden in September. I have just a few weeks left in my garden for the year. Usually we will get that first frost around the beginning of October. So we are counting down the last few days before the garden is over. This is one of my big flower patches that I have. I've got some watermelons here. I actually need to probably pull these guys off the vine because I'm sure that they are ready. Yeah, you see this little tendril here, how it's all dried up? That's a typical sign that your watermelon is going to be ready. My flowers over here are looking a little rough. I have not been maintaining them the way that I typically do. It has been busy, but we've got some cosmos here. I love cosmos. They're so pretty. And zinnias. I love to plant basil in my flower garden. One, it helps to deter like deer and pests because they don't love the smell of it. And two, when it flowers, it is so pretty. But yes, so we've got some more cosmos. I'm gonna probably leave these. I'll probably come through and dehead some of these this week. They don't dehead super well. But I want this to hopefully be nice and full of flowers when the camera crew comes next week. Cosmos. I've got a couple sunflowers. They're pretty well done for the year though. I've got some feverfew. I've got this right here, straw flower. I don't have any straw flower flowering right now though. We've got zucchini that I have been severely neglecting, so we have, I need to pick it, but I'll just show you guys. Look at those giant zucchinis. They are huge. I need to pick them. Then I've got some pumpkins back here that are actually, we've got a couple orange ones you can see that are ready, and then I've got some green ones that aren't quite ready yet. And I can't remember what variety these are. I think Connecticut something. Then we've got some dahlias. I actually might be trying to enter a couple of these into the fair if I can get some good looking ones. The last few storms have been really hard on the dahlias. They're really bent over. Next year I'm going to get better netting for these so that they have a little bit more support because these last few storms have not been good. But look how pretty. I love dahlias. They are so pretty. We've got a cafe au lait. Here's another cafe au lait. I love that you can have like this pinky shade of them, and you can also have like a cream color. It's crazy. We also have, see that grasshopper? They have been decimating a lot of my plants this year, which is so annoying. Here's another super pretty dahlia. I have no idea what this one is. It came in a like surprise pack. And then a yellow one. That one also was in a surprise pack. We've got really pretty purple one. And a cream one. Over here we've got more zinnias. I cleaned these up last week because they were rough looking, so I did a deep cut on them deadheaded a bunch of them, and I'm hoping we've got tons of blooms that are just starting. So I'm really hoping next week they've got a lot of blooms back on them. Then over here, my basil went to flower. It is what it is. And my herbs are looking a little rough. The grasshoppers have been killing my sage back there, which I didn't think grasshoppers liked sage, but they do this year. But this is my herb garden. Like I said, the basil is huge. We've got chives with, you guessed it, another grasshopper. Thyme and rosemary also. More flowers. The celosia was looking pretty rough, and it is still looking rough. I don't think that this is going to probably flower again the way it was earlier in the summer before next week, but we shall see. I've got so much morning glory vines that it was like choking everything out. So I had to do like a really deep cut on this to try and get some of the morning glory out of here. And then over here is the yarrow. Again, I did a really deep deadheading cut on this. Again, the morning glory is just killing everything. But there is basically my herbs and my flowers. And then we get over here into my vegetables, and I need to actually grab a basket to pick some of these, but we've got more basil here. Sweet basil. Actually, I don't remember if this is sweet basil or lemon basil. Purple basil. I've got some carrots back here. Chives there. And then this is what my kids fondly refer to as the tomato jungle. It always looks so cool. But we've got tons of tomatoes in here. This one is so big. I'm going to pick it today and see what it looks like. And then I've also got some cucumbers on the back half of the trellis also, but the tomato trellis is always one of my favorites. In this bed, we have cucamelons. These are always kind of fun. They kind of look like a little baby watermelon, but they have the taste and texture of like a sour cucumber. Here, I just bit into one. See if I can get it to focus there. And there's like the interior of it. I actually did not plant the cucamelons this year because my kids really didn't like them as much as I was hoping they would last year. These ended up just reseeding themselves, and I just didn't pull them because the peas that I had planted here just never came up. So I figured, let it be. And then I've got some violets. This is calendula that I need to deadhead, and has kind of been taken over by the cucamelons. And then back there we've just got some more basil and marigolds that need to be deadheaded. And then my last box, we have more marigolds. I put marigolds in every single one of my vegetable boxes. I think it helps to deter like deer and stuff like that because they don't love the smell of the marigolds. And same with like basil and chives. They also don't love. But I've got so many jalapenos. I'm going to try and make some pepper jelly hopefully this week, but those are my jalapenos. I've got a couple bell peppers. I think I pretty well got all of the bell peppers off, but tons of jalapenos. I've got a couple of my jalapenos that are turning red, which is always kind of fun. You can see them in there. I'm going to use the red ones for pepper jelly. But these are just about to come off, but I'm going to leave them on for a while. I cleaned out a couple of the other peppers that were in here just because we didn't love them. They were like a smaller sweet pepper that, I don't know, we just didn't love. And then I had a giant marigold in here that had just kind of died. It did its job. It was kind of a trap plant and it trapped the pests and died, and I just pulled it out. This here is borage. It is kind of like an herb. And then I've got 2 eggplants here. So there is just a little bit of a garden tour for you guys. It is almost too muddy for me to do a lot out here today, but we're gonna try.